The fans made a sequel to Zootopia before Disney themselves. Maybe it's time for me to make my predictions for Frozen 3 video. Return to Zootopia is the fan film and fan sequel made by a YouTuber Brown-Table, and this review was ever so kindly requested by one of my subscribers and pals, Marvelfan2004, so thank you heaps for the request, pal. So, Return to Zootopia tells the story of what Brown-Table predicts would take place after the events of the original Zootopia. It literally takes place, well, milliseconds after the first movie, after Gazelle's concert, where Judy and Nix are not just growing in friendship, but they are growing closer as a couple, and getting more and more romantic as the story unfolds. But sadly, Zootopia, while they may have changed their view on the predators in the city, they have still yet to change their minds about different species marrying. It's been 4 years now, and we're still waiting for the follow-up to one of the greatest Disney Revival Age movies. So in the meantime, the Zootopia fandom are going to picture their ideas to Disney for that sequel, and Brown-Table is well, such a passionate fan that he managed to make his own sequel before Disney. He even puts a text in the opening of the movie that this Disney have no involvement with this fan film. It's entirely a fan project. I surprisingly loved Return to Zootopia. I'm not saying this is a flawless fan movie, nor is it on par with the original Zootopia, but Brown-Table deserves to be a storyboard artist and a screenwriter at Disney. I mean, you can see in every single scene of this movie that he conveys Zootopia is his favourite movie of all time. This is far more sophisticated. This is far more sophisticated and intelligent than other fan fictions that you can read. This one feels like a genuine follow-up, or at least closer to what Disney was have planned for their Zootopia sequel. And Disney don't need to copy Brown-Table's idea for a sequel by any means, but they should at least, I say, take notes when constructing the script when they do get round to making Zootopia 2. And even though the animation is like a slideshow, its characters are sliding along in one position for a few seconds. For the most part, they are not moving every second like you would see in other animation, but I'm okay with that. The art style and the imagery is still mind-blowingly accurate to the look of Zootopia and the character designs from the original movie, and I could still entirely get what was going on, and the voice actors do a 90% accurate impression of Jennifer Goodwin and Jason Bale. Judy and Nick's voice actors from the original Zootopia, and yeah, Judy and Nick's relationship in this fan sequel is a step forward, and I am pushing Disney to make it happen, to make Judy and Nick become a romantic couple in the sequel to Zootopia. It deserves to happen. Disney are far beyond the love at first sight days in their classics. This is a love story that shows whether you're gay or straight is irrelevant. Whether you're an opposite sex couple, same sex couple, or a different species in this world's case. Sadly, in Zootopia's universe, they have still yet to let go of their prejudice and misunderstanding of different species of marriage. And Judy makes this empowering speech in the final moments of this fan sequel, saying just because something is seen as different doesn't mean it's wrong, and it just takes time for the world to see that. And Judy making the decision to quit her job as an officer and set up her own private business with Nick, that is a even more satisfying and happier resolution for them than just staying on the police force, as nobody can ever judge them when they are just working together, because Judy also says in her narration in the finale, don't focus so much on the people that judge you, focus on the people that embrace how special you are, and the people who you're most comfortable with. And I love that this sequel didn't sideline Judy's parents. No, Judy's mum, she totally gives this speech to Judy that motivates her to return to Nick pronto, and she's like, all I want is for my children to be happy. And Judy's parents finally get to meet Nick in this fan movie when they never got to in the original. And in the last scene, Judy gets an unexpected knock on the door. She opens it, and there is Nick's mother asking about Nick for Mother's Day. We only got a brief glimpse of Nick's mum in Nick's backstory scene in the original movie, but when I saw that, I clapped uncontrollably. Brown Table, you are a genius. Having Nick's mother finally appear in the story opens the door for a possible Zootopia 3. Disney had better do that in their version of Zootopia 2. And there is just as thrilling of a cop investigation in this movie as there was in the original, where poor Mrs. Armadillo is assaulted in a home for the homeless where she works at, and she's in a coma for the majority of the movie and doesn't wake up until towards the third act. But the investigation is it's jam-packed with action, and especially a train scene. That Brown Table did a totally awesome job at animating. I mean, this fan film, he spent 1.5 years animating. The Academy should hurry up and make a category for best fan film already, because the winner would be Return to Zootopia. And there's even this Arctic Fox character who we think is a hired henchman for the unknown villain, but then he has a change of hearts after his friend is taken out by the villains for failure. So he gives Judy and Nick the information that they need to save the day. What a mature direction to take with that character. Thank God they didn't just make him a one-dimensional henchman. And in fact, none of the characters here are one-dimensional. Occasionally a fan film can do a better job at giving depth to its characters than a big-budget studio. And this movie is one of those examples. And the main antagonist, Miles, my God, this dude is a monster, and I mean, even some of the classic Disney villains didn't have a backstory that was as crucial to the plot as Miles does. His real name isn't even Miles. He just took the name Miles to change his identity. But my God, his backstory of his abusive father, convincing him that the homeless are nothing, and he convinces Miles to one day, plot to just destroy the homeless altogether, and Miles in his childhood, we find out he went as far as burning down his entire farm and is responsible for the murder of his father, and is manipulating the citizens of Zootopia to think that he will be the mayor that helps Zootopia rise to the top, and he pretends to build a home for the homeless, tricking them into thinking it's out of kindness when he plots a genocide on the homeless, and he also manipulates those in Zootopia to discriminate Judy and Nick for even thinking of wanting to have a relationship just because they are a bunny and a fox. He's only a Disney villain made up by a fan, and yet he's one of the darkest Disney villains areas. And Brown Table could have easily have copped out and just put in the formulaic Disney 2010s twist villain, but luckily he didn't. So he went back to the more classic style Disney villain. Disney, please, from now on, make more villains in your movies like Miles. The title Return to Zootopia is kind of unimaginative, and it's kind of a nonsensical title in the context of this movie. Judy and Nick never do return to Zootopia. They are in Zootopia from start to finish. So why not just title it Zootopia 2? And also, why would Nick, after the temporary breakup with Judy, why would he be dating a vixen? I mean, sure. I mean, if he truly cared about her, he would be saying, "No, I am not replacing the woman I love with another girl." I could see that Brown Table wanted to get this message out there about the homeless needing more care and help, which they do, but the plot with Miles wanting to murder the homeless, it doesn't tie into the conflict with Judy and Nick's relationship complications whatsoever. It feels like a different storyline altogether that should have been in another movie. So why not have Miles attempt to ban permanently any different species relationships. Now that only makes more sense in my book, but still, overall, Return to Zootopia is the most impressive and detailed awesomely written fan film and sequel that I have ever seen in my entire life, and I'm overjoyed it's received over 1 million views on YouTube as I speak, and uh, and uh, uh, and I pray that Disney's version of Zootopia 2 is just as great as this. I give Return to Zootopia 4 stars out of 5. Great movie. Well, I just have 2 more requests to get to. Lambo Rock Strikes Back kindly requested me to rant about the 2010 Yogi Bear, which I'm with him, sucks, and also rant about the Mario Brothers movie, which is far worse than the recent Sonic movie. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And what are your thoughts on Return to Zootopia? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. And I'll see you all next time when I review the James Bond movie Diamonds Are Forever. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.